Ha! Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for more Fire First. Fire First. Fire First. Wow, I thought I was going to have a good intro there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for more Fire Force! Onwards to Volume 2, shall we? Let's go ahead and get this shindig started. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to my reading of the entire series of Fire Force. Today, we are going to be checking out Volume 2 with the title of Hero or Devil. So let's go ahead and begin, shall we? Holster, it's good to see you. I just got started. It's a bit of a gloomy day outside, but we'll make up for that by making this the most sunny and most entertaining Fire Force read-through for today. So, starting this off, we have the full roster of fire soldiers from Company 8. Captain, non-powered, Akitaru Obi, the popular and charismatic leader of the newly established Company 8. He has no powers, but uses his finely honed muscles as a weapon to accomplish at least as much as the pyrokinetics. Loves bodybuilding to an almost creepy extent. And of course it lists everybody. You know what? For archive's sake, I'm gonna go through this whole thing, because then I'll just resort to just reading out the whole summary for each volume, instead of just reading everyone's names out. So, strong bond with Lieutenant, second-generation pyrokinetic Takahisa Hinawa, a dry, unemotional ex-military man. His stern discipline is feared among the new recruits. He never allows the soldiers to play with fire, has odd tastes in hats. Then we have Shinra Kusakabe. Since being accused of using his powers to cause the fire that took his family, his face's habit of tensing up into a bizarre smile when he gets nervous has earned him the derisive nickname of Devil. He joined the Fire Force to achieve his dream of becoming a hero and saving people from the fear of the flames. Arthur Boyle. Second-generation fire soldier, third-generation pyrokinetic. And I didn't say second-class fire soldier, third-generation pyrokinetic for Shinra Kusakabe. My apologies. Second-class fire soldier, third-generation pyrokinetic, Arthur Boyle. The newest member of Company 8. He trained at the academy with Shinra. He walks the path of chivalry as a self-proclaimed Night King. But according to Shinra, he makes everybody think he's the smooth, silent type for not talking, but it's just 'cause he's stupid. Apparently, he is popular with the ladies. Non-powered, Iris. A sister of the Holy Soul Temple, she plays an indispensable role in extinguishing infernals, reciting the prayers required to calm their souls. Personality-wise, she is no less than an angel. Her chest is big. Very big. Well, it says her boobs are big. Very big. The fact that this is a description for Iris. First-class fire soldier, second-generation pyrokinetic, Maki Oze. A former member of the military, she is an excellent fighter who controls fire. Mad about love stories, her beauty is overshadowed by her head full of flowers and wedding bells. We went through that description at the end of the last volume. But she is kind to her juniors. And that extends over to Mystery Man, a mysterious man who crashed the Special Fire Force Rookie Fire Soldier games. He trashes fire scenes and attacks fire soldiers. Then we have the Infernals. Born from the cryptogenic phenomenon of spontaneous human combustion, SHC, they have no self-awareness and only wreak havoc until their lives burn out. The fire soldiers' mission is to uncover the cause of the infernal outbreak and save mankind. Then we extend to Special Fire Force Company 1. Tamaki Kotatsu, a rookie member of Company 1, a girl with an unfortunate lucky lecher lure condition. And then the captain, whose name is not known at this time. A fire soldier who was at the scene of the fire that took Shinra's family when he was young. He commands the elite Company 1. Why is that a thing for Iris? I would have expected something like that for Maki. I don't know. Or something similar to her muscles are big. Yeah, they just did that. They just did that for Iris. What is the Special Fire Force? An organization formed to extinguish the flames of the infernals and save their souls, as well as to rescue the people who live in fear of them. Its members come from three main sources: the Fire Defense Agency, the Holy Soul Temple, and the military. But in recent months, they've been getting more recruits from the academy. They are recognized by the blue fluorescent lines on their gear, and the general firefighters call them Blue Stripes. Summary! Shinra finds himself competing in the Rookie Fire Soldier Games with Arthur, but a mysterious man who has invaded the building where the contest is taking place. Well, hold on. Family's calling. Give me a sec. Family was calling about food. Continuing. Shinra finds himself competing in the Rookie Fire Soldier Games with Arthur, but a mysterious man has invaded the building where the contest is taking place, and he claims to know Shinra's past. This man reeks of danger. What shocking truth will he tell Shinra about the fire 12 years ago? And so we have chapters 6 all the way down to 15. So there are many more chapters in this volume compared to the one that I did yesterday. The first one was like a good starting off point, but this one, yeah, this one's a bit heftier. Chapter 6, The Evil That Knows the Truth. And we have Shinra standing in front of this mysterious man.
The fire 12 years ago? What do you...
I know you're curious about the fire that killed your mommy and your kid brother. About the day you became a devil.
How do you know about that? What are you doing here? Who are you? What's with this guy? Is he part of the game? Like a show us how you can cope in an emergency kind of thing? Then those soldiers are just acting? But then how would he know about 12 years ago? It doesn't add up. Get away from those soldiers!
No? What's that? You're more concerned about these men than what I have to tell you. You are a fire soldier. Okay, I get it. You can't focus on me.
As he starts breathing in smoke. And then that smoke turns into something in his hands, almost like a playing card.
Then I guess I'll just kill them.
And as Shinra makes his way towards him, he tries to use his own powers to hit the guy, going, "Don't!" And he tries to swipe at him, but the guy dodges away.
Oh ho.
Whoa now, as Shinra is spinning and trying to kick this man. And then the whole area is just being, swept up in Shinra's kicks.
What do you know about that fire? Tell me!
I will, if you show me a good time.
As he's holding that same vial we saw before in the last volume. And then we have the sounds of their fighting taking place, and everyone can hear it on the outside. And then we have Iris along with Obi and Maki.
Oh, it's already started.
How are Shinra and Arthur doing?
Shinra rocketed himself into first place by going in from the air, and Arthur used Excalibur to cut himself an entrance in the wall.
As it shows Arthur cutting like a triangle-shaped hole for him.
Why? Fire scares me to death. I thought if I surrounded myself with firefighters, they'd put out the fires and I could feel safe. That's why I joined the fire force.
And then Obi is looking at this guy from Company 2.
What's that guy doing?
Looks like a rookie from Company 2. So why should I have to go into a burning building voluntarily?
Darn it, Juggernaut! If he'd just get a handle on his power, he'd be a real force to be reckoned with. But right now, he's worthless.
As it shows a slightly, a receding hairline man with a big old broom mustache saying this, and then fire erupts from this dude called Juggernaut's hands.
Fire! In my hands! I'm scared! Go away!
As the fire turns into what looks like missiles, and they all just, it just goes everywhere, and they start hitting the building, including a section where Arthur is running through, and it kind of makes the wall implode. And as that happens,
what's happening? An air raid?
Ah! The floor!
As it shows Tamaki, falling through the air. Falling through the air right above Arthur. as Tamaki's rear end falls directly onto Arthur's face. Yep, that lucky lecture lure again.
That was a thrill.
I'm not a night-shaped cushion, you know. Remove yourself at once.
What are you doing under me, you stupid perv?
I'm not a night-shaped punching bag either. And then we cut back to the room where Shinra and this guy with the bowler hat, and he has that vial in his hands going,
Now then, how many turns will you last in this game?
What the? Sand?
and then it shows that same materials making its way towards Shinra, and then it sizzles and pops, and it's basically like explosive dust. Think along the same lines as the fire-style burning ash jutsu from Sarutobi, from Asuma in Naruto. Or like one of those perfumer enemies in Elden Ring that like throws up dust that then immediately explodes and sets on fire. It's kind of like that. Shinra gets hit by it and he gets knocked backwards, but he uses his feet to right himself. And as he does that, the dude with the bowler hat swings in right next to him and then elbows him in the side of the head, causing him to teeter. Then it shows the guy spitting out what's left of his cigarette, and it falls into, he spits out of the ground, and then another one makes its way up, and then all of a sudden there's another explosion in front of Shinra. And then the guy has another cigarette in his mouth, and he's speeding towards him. And the smoke from his cigarette is expanding into what looks to be flaming playing cards. And Shinra just gets hit a couple of times until one actually hits him in the shoulder and draws some blood.
That was disappointingly easy. Guess I'll kill him.
As he has this crazed look in his eye.
He's gonna kill me.
Reminds you of another power, but you won't say because we'll see it in a later volume. Yeah. Don't even give me hints or even a subtle nod to things, Holster. Hold it in.
He's gonna kill me.
Wow, that's some face you're making. You can smile in the middle of all this? That's better than I thought. As a reward, I'll give you hint number 1 about what really happened in that fire.
Huh? A lucky break?
As Shinra's thinking about his mom and other sibling.
Your little brother is still alive.
What?
And that is the end of chapter 6. That's the end of chapter 6. I remember because the next chapter begins with Fire Force at the top of the panel. That's the end of chapter 6. Onwards to chapter 7.
My brother? Sho is alive? What are you talking about? They told me he was dead. Not even his bones were left. Besides, if he were alive, where did he go after the fire? Sho was just a baby. He was only a year old.
Maybe somebody's hiding something.
You expect me to believe that?
As Shinra's feet erupts in fire all around him. Chapter 7. The Devil and the Joker.
It was just a hunch, but it did seem like Company 1's captain was hiding something. Something felt off. What if I wasn't imagining it?
What's the matter? Think of someone?
Let's say it is true. How would you know? And why would you tell me? What's your angle? What did you come here for?
Oh, you want to know about me? All right, you do show a fair amount of promise after all. And looking at you now, you must have some clue, right? I'm guessing you're starting to have misgivings about the Special Fire Force. Your mother is dead, that's no small matter. You want to know the truth, don't you? Then why don't you quit your little game of hero with the Fire Force and become a devil with me to search for the truth?
As he turns his smoke into the words hero or devil, basically the name of this volume.
Hero or devil? Give me a break. I don't care what you know. You attacked 2 fire soldiers. My brother, Sho, is alive? This guy is too shady. I can't trust a word he says. And in that case, I'm gonna beat you to a pulp and take you in!
What a letdown. That flying kick of yours leaves you wide open.
As it shows him, it shows Shinra making like he's about to hit him, but he uses his own powers to bring his leg up and almost hits this guy with the hat.
This kid keeps changing course. In midair.
And Shinra is still airborne, but he's using his own powers to keep himself aloft and thus proceeds to hit this guy a fair distance away.
A hero's gotta have a flying kick!
As he makes his way towards this guy and hits the ground with such force that he pretty much kind of craters it.
I'm impressed. Now that is a devil's firepower.
Then it shows Arthur and it shows Tamaki.
What's that? It's coming from over there.
Watch out. And it shows Arthur putting his arm up in front of Tamaki, who's kind of bothered by the fact that he's doing that.
I'm a fire soldier too. You don't have to protect me.
But I am a knight.
I sense something nasty up ahead. I smell danger. Really bad danger.
Ladies first, please, after you.
Not very adaptable in your chivalry, are you?
This man was ready to get in front of Tamaki, and then she says, I smell danger, and then he's all like, ladies first. But you a knight, though? Okay. Right. Okay. I know enough about Arthur. I know enough about Arthur from, the anime, but, I can't wait to reread it again.
Well, this is a competition, so I appreciate you letting me go ahead of you. But you don't make a lot of sense.
As it shows Arthur hiding behind the corner. Then it shows one of those playing cards flying through the air, and Arthur immediately gets in front of Tamaki, like, rapidly. Watch out! And he blocks it with Excalibur.
I took it too slow. The pests are starting to show up.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Infernal.
So much for ladies first.
It's Arthur, and the company One Girl. Arthur! This suspicious character is trespassing in the games facility. He's injured 2 soldiers. I'll get him into custody. You go report to the captains outside.
What?
Stop lying. Victory will be mine. Out of my way.
What?
As it shows Arthur shoving him aside.
What?
As it shows Arthur shoving Shinra aside.
Why would I lie about this? This guy is super dangerous. Go, now!
You want to win so badly that you would resort to these vulgar methods? You're a disgrace to Company 8.
Ah, you stupid knight!
He is stupid. I will arrest him. And as it shows Arthur trying to hit this guy with the hat, but the guy is just dodging out of the way.
And how do you plan to arrest me while you're swinging that sword around? Huh?
Out of the way! Don't forget about me!
And Tamaki shows up, and she uses her powers to erect like a what appears to be like a barrier of fire right behind this guy.
You're mine!
Look out!
As Shinra comes in and grabs her, because that same exploding dust is right next to Tamaki, and Shinra flies in and tackles her before she gets blown up.
Huh? If I got caught in that, I'd be toast. This is supposed to be a rookie contest.
That's what I'm telling you. The contest is canceled.
And it shows this dude causing more dust to flow into the air.
Shinra, if you're so hung up on being a hero, I'd like to see you rescue every person here.
As he dumps out all that explosive dust, and he just lets it flow into the air.
That powder again. What is it?
And it just flows all around him so much that you can see it just in the air. And then Shinra notices the 2 fire soldiers who are unconscious in the distance. Then we get the guy with the hat.
See you later, devil. You're welcome to team up with the Joker whenever you feel like it. Don't mess this up.
As his smoke turns into the word bye.
Hurry! We have to get out of here!
And then both Tamaki and Arthur look at Shinra as the entire upper level of this entire training facility just explodes. And that is the end of Chapter 7. Onwards to Chapter 8. Wait, hold on. Make sure I didn't see any Fire Force words up top. No, I didn't. Onwards to Chapter 8, Seeking the Truth. And we have the same panels where the guy was saying,
see you later, devil. You're welcome to team up with the Joker whenever you feel like it. Don't mess this up.
What's this powder?
Everybody wants to send me messages today.
You're welcome to team up with the Joker here whenever you feel like it. Don't mess this up.
What is this powder?
Ash? Hurry! We have to get out of here! It's gonna blow!
And Shinra uses his powers to get over to the fire soldiers immediately.
I won't make it to that window in time. Not with all 4 of them.
Arthur! Cut a hole in the ceiling! We'll get out through the top!
And then Arthur looks up and goes,
Knights only take orders from fair princesses.
and then he cuts a hole into the roof.
The cut is too clean. It won't come down.
And then Tamaki goes over to Arthur and goes,
Out of the way! We're going through the ceiling, right? Ah!
and she lets out a little bit of a cry as she causes the fire on her, cattails that she creates to emanate forward and shove the space where Arthur cut into right out of the roof so they can get out.
Both of you! Hold on tight! I will save them all!
As stuff starts exploding, the dust starts to explode around them,
Come on, hurry!
and then Shinra moving at high speed while Tamaki and Arthur hold on.
I won't lose anyone!
And then it cuts to Shinra. It cuts to Shinra going,
You dark cat, don't grab me there!
as she's holding on to his lower half.
Don't ask the impossible!
As they all shoot up through the hole in the roof.
I'm going to save as many people from the fire as I can!
And that's when we cut to the present, where the whole upper section of the building completely explodes. And that's when all the company captains see this.
What?
And this is Maki and Obi.
What?
Shinra! Arthur!
Tamaki.
And then we have the captain from the same place where Juggernaut was from. He's looking, and then we have this nice-looking dark-skinned chick who's there as well.
Hero or devil?
Darn it all! Darn it to heck, I'm a fire soldier!
And then as this is going on, he's flying out of the way, and then they just barely manage to get out from the updraft of where the explosion happens.
Arthur! Cat girl!
God save me.
Can I grab Arthur and the cat without dropping these guys? Can or not, I have to!
Then we have the captain, the Company 1 captain, who flies over him. Hold on, I just realized I didn't have chat up off to the side. My apologies, I forgot to reset it. I got distracted. I got so caught up in everything else. Because Halster, you've been talking and it makes it seem like no one's saying anything at all, but I want to correct that. There we go. All right, we're good. Restore chat. Back to it. But the Company 1 captain flies over Shinra and goes,
You get those men safely onto the ground. We'll take care of those two.
Captain Burns!
We have a name for the guy. His name is Captain Burns.
Thank you, sir!
As he just casually flies in and catches Tamaki.
What about me?
And this is Arthur going,
What about me? Sorry, it's not like I'm actually flying. I see. God save me! God save me.
You, boy, look down.
Huh?
And it shows Obi. It shows Obi with his arms out. Arthur, I'm here for you.
Captain Obi, grab your end.
Hey, good idea. As it shows Maki and Takahisa, who are holding like this big net to catch Arthur in. Don't be afraid, Arthur. Show them that Company 8 spirit.
Company 8 spirit. All I'm doing is free falling.
And then as Captain Burns lands stylishly and safely on the ground with Tamaki, Arthur falls into the safety blanket that both Obi, Maki, and company were holding him in, but apparently they were holding him too close to the ground because he hits the ground even while in the blanket.
Ow. It's a good thing you're a bunch of hulking muscleheads.
Who
I didn't say that! As Maki just flips him over onto the ground.
The fire was scary, but this isn't much better.
As the Company 2 Juggernaut goes in, he doesn't notice that one of the fixtures is falling straight towards him. But then we get the captain from Company 2 who goes sailing in with like the top of his bald head on fire.
Captain Honda!
And Captain Honda, that's a nice name, Honda, like Tarakatsu Honda. Captain Honda comes in and he either shoulder checks, headbutts, or just punches away this fixture completely before it falls on Juggernaut. Are there any injured? Everybody got out of here. Everybody get out of here! And then it cuts to Shinra who lands safely on the ground. And then he lands, and then he just breathes out a sigh of relief as we get Captain Burns. So you took care of my Tamaki.
I could have escaped on my own.
FS Shinra, wasn't it? Thank you. As we see like residual fire from behind his eye patch, and Shinra just looks at him, because we remember back to what Joker said.
I'm guessing you're starting to have misgivings about the Special Fire Force. The Fire Force is hiding something.
Oh wait, this is Shinra thinking,
The Fire Force is hiding something. Something about the fire 12 years ago. Thank you, sir. I don't deserve such kind words. He said my brother Sho is alive.
Shinra, you okay? You're black and blue. And before I move on to the next page, family just got home with food. Let me help them bring that in, and then we'll continue with this chapter. Hold tight. this may end up being one of those moments where I take an intermission to eat food. So let me get through at least 2 chapters. I'll take a short break to eat my food, and then we'll pick up. Because if I try to read through this whole volume, my food is going to be cold by the end. So let's get through this chapter. And then we'll go to the next one, and then we'll continue on from there. I need to set myself up properly, though, so I don't have anything that's in my way while I read. I thank you all for your patience, though. Seriously, thank you. But Shinra says,
The fire forces.
yeah, it's a long one. A good break is a good call. Thank you, Halster, because I got to do what's best for me, and I just appreciate people being patient with me. When this is a VOD later, when this is a video later that everyone can just watch and speed through, then I'll be sure to put up, like, a moment where the chapter continues.
The fire force is hiding something. Something about the fire 12 years ago. Thank you, sir. I don't deserve such kind words. He said my brother Sho was alive.
Shinra, you okay? You're black and blue. And this is Captain Obi. I saw that. You saved 4 people. You're a hero. And he just gives him like a noogie on the head. Man, who remembers noogies? Like rubbing people's heads with your knuckles and everything. I remember seeing that a whole bunch of times in Rocket Power.
Thank you, sir. Is Captain Obi hiding something too?
Well, if you'll excuse us. Tamaki, report. What happened in there?
And this is Captain Burns.
Yes, sir.
You have a good soldier there.
And this is Captain Burns saying this to Captain Obi. And then it shows the smoldering smoke, the smoke emanating from this training building.
Captain Obi.
You do that to your siblings all the time? I don't know what that's like. Since I'm the oldest, no one's ever tried to do that to me, nor have I tried to do that to my sisters, because, sometimes I don't know my own strength. Not even when I was young, so I tried not to do any of that. So I don't think any of us has ever had noogies like that. I had it from other people when I was growing up, but not from my own siblings.
Captain Obi. I ran into a suspicious man in there. He had this strange powder, and he could control explosions.
Huh?
Remember the fire the other day when someone trashed the scene and the ceiling almost crushed us? Crushed you? The explosions were a lot like the ones we saw then. And the man seemed to know something about the fire that killed my mom 12 years ago. Is the fire force hiding something?
Shinra.
I promised my mom! I became a fire soldier so I could protect everyone! Fire soldiers are heroes, right? Heroes who fight the fear of the flame!
That's true, but it's not like everyone in the Special Fire Force was cut from the same cloth. I should tell you why Company 8 was formed.
And that is the end of Chapter 8. Onwards to Chapter 9, Company 8's Quarry.
After the incident, the rookie games were cancelled. The Special Fire Force opened an investigation into the intruder. A composite sketch was made based on descriptions from...
this is Shinra still doing the narration.
After the incident, the rookie games were cancelled. The Special Fire Force opened an investigation into the intruder. A composite sketch was made based on descriptions from me and Catgirl. They gave him the alias Joker.
So that's the name we'll call him for now. Joker! Special Fire Cathedral 8. And we have someone on the news.
That's all for today's news. The Amaterasu is running normally today. Have a nice day, everyone. Latom.
And then the TV turns off. And it's Captain Obi.
As expected, no news about yesterday's Joker incident.
So the Special Fire Force really is hiding something. Back to what we were talking about yesterday. I joined the force so I could be a hero. The Special Fire Force does fight for the people, doesn't it?
Let me start by explaining how the force is organized. You know that the Special Fire Force recruits soldiers from 3 organizations, right? Holy Soul Temple, Tokyo Armed Forces, and the Fire Defense Agency. At a glance, it may look like they're all working together across party lines,
But in reality, that's not necessarily true. Each company is influenced more or less by a different parent organization. The Holy Soul Temple has a lot of pull with Company 1, and most of its recruits are from the church. Company 2 is directly affiliated with the Tokyo Armed Forces. You could say it's a very military company. Then there's Company 5. On paper, it works for the Tokyo Armed Forces, but in actuality, they answer to Haijima Industries.
Haijima? Why do they have so much power?
Haijima makes all our equipment. The Fire Force couldn't function without them. They're our sole supplier, so their capital and their power are enormous. Of course, every company's mission is to put the Infernals to rest and research the cause of spontaneous human combustion. They do fight for the people. But when a company learns anything on the line of duty, the info doesn't get passed around. Some of that information might have clues about SHC, but it's not getting shared. I do believe that the Fire Force is the good guys, but some of these righteous companies might just be blowing smoke. And since we can't fully trust them, I agree. We have to suspect the Special Fire Force.
So what is Company 8 trying to do?
And then we have Obi speaking. He's silent at first, and then he goes, Company 8 was formed when the proposal was pushed through by a faction of the Fire Defense Agency. They wanted a company made of members they could trust with me as captain. Our job is to investigate companies 1 through 7, to see what, if anything, they are hiding, and to find the truth.
You mean?
The Special Fire Force should know what's causing the infernal outbreak by now, but someone for some reason is hiding it. I'm just one firefighter from the Fire Defense Agency. I can't get the information on my own. But I have to find it if I want to save the people.
Please, let me help with the investigation. If I stick with him, I'll get closer to solving the mystery of spontaneous combustion and to the truth about what happened on the day I lost Mom and Sho.
Thanks. I'm glad I recruited you to Company 8. See, this is why I like Company 8. They're not a company that's just purely based off of their skills and everything. They're here to investigate everybody else. Of course, it was put together in such a hurry. It's just the 6 of us right now.
And the cathedral is falling apart.
We got nobody. Then we have Takahisa.
Forgive me for interrupting.
And this guy, he's a lieutenant. There's only 6 of us, but we have a captain and a lieutenant.
Is that supposed to be funny?
Really, it's just hilarious.
Please don't depress yourself with your own comments.
Okay, not funny.
We have the lab results from the analysis on that powder Joker used to blow up the training facility. Apparently, its main ingredient is infernal ashes.
That powder is infernal ashes?
What? They're using the remains of the dead? Those evil sons of...
And then it cuts to the laboratory where Joker walks in on this scraggly-looking dude in a striped shirt. How'd it go? Did you make an easy escape?
Yeah, thanks to that passage you set up. I slipped underground and the rest was cake.
I did some digging on Special Fire Force Company 8, the one with that devil. Its captain is Akitaru Obi. Back when he was in the Fire Force Agency, he was rewarded 2 medals and stripped of both of them. He lost each medal after defying orders and putting human lives first. How is that a bad thing?
Not bad. For better or worse, he's a very model of a firefighter.
I don't know if there's somebody backing him, but either way, it wouldn't be exaggerating to say that Company 8 was formed by the strength of Obi's character and his trustworthy reputation. We've seen this scraggly dude before the Hero games too. Oh no, I recognize him. He was there too, just sitting up there chilling on the top rafters. This is a company of a different color. Fascinating. And then we have Shinra. Oh wait, no. Yeah, we have Shinra. We're back at Company 8's cathedral.
I couldn't bring myself to tell him about Sho, but the captain's right. Solving the infernal problem comes first. Sho is alive.
And then it cuts to Arthur, who's just staring botheredly at his own desk.
Would you quit looking like you're dead when you're doing office work? You're killing my motivation.
Then the phone rings, and then Arthur picks it up.
You have reached King Arthur Boyle, Lord of Camelot. What news do you bring?
And then Maki's all like, "Are you kidding?" and snatches the phone away.
I'm sorry. This is Special Fire Force Company 8. Oh? Yes. Yes.
And then Arthur looks bored again.
Hey,
What?
why did you become a fire soldier?
Because I'm a knight. Matter of knight fact.
And then Shinra's all like, "Really?" And then Maki walks up.
Hey, you two. We just got a phone call. Apparently a dog climbed a tree and can't get down. Would you go help it?
Rescue a dog? But that's work for the regular firefighters. Why would they call us?
People call fire soldiers when they mean to call the firefighters all the time. And you guys aren't getting anywhere with the office work anyway. I can take care of the rest.
And then that's like Arthur getting primed up because it's like, "Hey, I don't have to do office work."
Okay, I'm on.
Okay, I'm on it. With my power, getting a dog out of a tree should be a breeze. I'd rather get moving to help someone even if it's just a cat or a dog. It's better than sitting around here thinking in circles.
And then we get to Shinra. We get to Shinra and Arthur who are walking outside.
But still, a dog climbing trees? Come on, dog, you're not a cat. And don't follow me. I can do this without your help.
Hey, I wanted to get out of the office too.
Don't put me on your level. I was just...
It's the firefighters! Come on, over here!
Huh?
He's up there. And then both Arthur and Shinra are looking up at the tree.
That's not a dog so much as...
It's one of the mascots.
Mamoru-kun. Is it me or is that the guy from 119?
Goodness me. As it shows Shinra using his powers to let down Mamoru. Thank you very much.
So, what were you doing up there?
I was at an event in the shopping district, handing out balloons, and some of the neighborhood college kids hip hooray me.
But why would they...
Do you remember the firefighter serial killer?
What?
Well, he's still on trial, but there was a firefighter named Miyamoto who killed 4 people for the fun of it. Since the murders, the people aren't too happy with firefighters or the Fire and Defense Agency. Sometimes it turns into bullying.
So, what happened to this firefighter?
They're handing down his verdict today. Everyone says he'll probably be let off for insanity.
As it cuts to what looks to be like a judicial building, and within a room full of judges. The defendant, Setsuo Miyamoto, is charged with 4 consecutive murders of innocent people, in disregard for his duties as a firefighter. However, at the time of the crimes, the defendant was mentally deranged. We cannot deny that there are extenuating circumstances to consider. And it cuts to this man who's looking with this weird blank stare. He's bald, he has a slightly shaved face, and his mouth is kind of open. Therefore, the court finds the defendant Setsuo Miyamoto not guilty. I'm sorry. I don't know about you, but if a person gets convicted for 4 murders... 4? And he gets let off? He's not leaving the room alive. But he's just... Therefore, the court finds the defendant Setsuo Miyamoto not guilty. And he starts to have a creepy smile. And then it cuts to the attorney shaking hands, and then it cuts to another person going, "That's absurd! The death penalty would be too good for that sleazebag! Do you know how many people that slime ball killed? So a firefighter can get away with murder?"
Too easy. It's too easy. The law's for saps. The government would be in quite the pickle if they convicted a firefighter after all. Too easy.
And then Setsuo's arm starts to sizzle.
Huh?
As he spontaneously starts to combust.
Ah! It burns!
What's going on? He burst into flames!
He's going infernal! Somebody put it out! Get a fire extinguisher or a blanket. I don't care. Ah, hurry!
And then the same person who was arguing for this man being let off starts laughing.
Divine retribution! You piece of trash! That's what you get! The great sun god is punishing you! Bite me!
says Setsuo as he waves his arm and causes a big surge of flame to hit not only the guy who's making fun of him, but a person behind him, and their upper bodies just immediately go up in flames. And then, as Setsuo starts to turn infernal, he still has enough semblance of humanity to laugh. And then we cut to Special Cathedral 8.
Captain Obi, we have an infernal!
And this is Maki. Huh? Where's Shinra and Arthur? And it shows Shinra and Arthur with Mamoru handing out balloons to children.
I'll hand out way more balloons than him. That's a lot of girls.
Because it shows that there are far more people, girls around Arthur than there are any kids around Shinra.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you. You hear? I'll murder every last one of you.
As Setsuo has gone completely infernal, but he's able to speak. And his body has changed completely. His head is no longer there. It looks like it's cut off at the top with flames coming out of the back. And he's just all smiles. And he starts setting people on. Oh, wait, that's the end of it. That's the end of the chapter. Sorry, I was about to keep going. I was about to keep going. But I said I was going to take a break after this chapter, right? I think I did. Yeah. Yeah, I think I said I was going to take that lunch break after this chapter. But that's the end of chapter 9. The next one will be chapter 10. Yeah, the next one will be chapter 10. So, for me, I'm going to go ahead and take that lunch break, eat my food, drink my drink, and then we'll come back and we'll continue with chapter 10 through 15. We only got 5 more chapters to go. So, I'm going to go ahead and eat. You guys do what you have to do, or, just stick around and chill. And once you hear my voice again, we'll continue where I left off. But give me a couple of minutes to eat food, and then we'll be right back. I thank you for your patience. All right, food done, but let me do one thing. I gotta send something through my phone real quick. Then we'll pick up. All right, there we go. All right, we can continue where I left off. Let me just throw my phone away. No more distractions. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we get to continue. Let's go ahead and continue. Thank you for your patience, for waiting for me as I ate my food, as we continue with Chapter 10. But for you, CDs, for what you're doing, I know it may sometimes get into your head that, you as an artist, what if this looks bad? What if I can't do it? The moment you start to have those thoughts, stop. Stop. Take a moment, breathe, and then remember why you're doing this drawing in the first place. Because you got it in you. I've seen the drawings. I've seen the art that you make. You got it. Never, like Halster says, never discredit yourself. And I know for me, it's easy for me to say that, but it took me a while for me to get to this point where I'm confident in everything that I do on this channel. Is it massively successful every single time? No. Would I like to have more than just like a single digit number of people who tune into my streams every time I do one? Yes, I would. But that number does not dismay me whenever I do anything on this channel. Heck, even one person can just watch what I'm doing. One person. And that's more than enough reason for me to continue on. The increase in people who watch what I do is just an even bigger reason. Yeah, it's a battle, but it's a battle within. I know it is. And not everyone is going to be able to, respond to it in kind with their own sense of confidence at the same level. Your level of confidence may not be where mine is. But all that matters at the end of the day is that you don't quit. As long as you don't quit, then that means you had more than enough confidence to see it through to the end. It doesn't have to be just like all in one sitting, just as long as you see it from beginning to its end. That's more than enough confidence to make up for everything. Because a lot of people can have confidence to start something, but not enough to finish it. That's just my take on it. You got your, and I said this in today's community post for all of you. Like, seize the day, breathe in deep, and remember you're stronger than you think. You're far more confident than you give yourself credit for. I know you are. But I know it's a battle within, but you are far stronger, far more confident than you give yourself credit for. Don't let what it looks like on the surface keep you from progressing. Don't let what seems difficult be the reason why you slow down. Because if you keep it at a pace that's comfortable for you, don't slow down just because something else is telling you, like, maybe you should slow down. You never know if this is going to work out. What if you mess up the eyes? What if you mess up the mouth? Or whatever. Chick-fil-A? Yeah. My family got it for me. One thing I can say is that I can always count on Chick-fil-A chicken to still taste the same throughout the years. Burger King be messing with you. McDonald's be having a couple of off weeks. Not off days, but off weeks. But Chick-fil-A chicken always be tasting the same. It's always chicken. But let's continue with Chapter 10. Because Setsuo has turned full infernal. But he also has his mind still. As he's going,
Die! Die! Burn!
as he starts setting people on fire.
This is it. Die! This!
And then it cuts to Setsuo, who looks at one of the judges. Oh! And then Setsuo jumps, and he's instantly in front of this judge's face. Thank you, guys. This is a long battle you have to face. It's all good. Everyone's battles are not the same, and everyone's battles don't conclude in the same time frame, nor do they conclude quickly. For a lot of people, what matters is that you see it to the end. If you don't give up at all, you'll be fine. But Setsuo, Infernal Setsuo, jumps up and he's right in front of one of the judges.
Yo, judge! Who do you think you are, deciding my fate?
I found you not guilty. I helped you.
You can count on your McDonald's hot chocolate to almost always taste like water. Thank you, McDonald's. I'm not loving it. Look, for me, every time I want my family to get me like a chocolate milkshake, oh, our machine is down. And since my mom used to work at McDonald's, a constant that has progressed throughout the generations is that McDonald's ice cream machine is always down every other day. And no one wants to put forth the effort to fix it or even get new machines so that they never have to worry about them saying, like, it's become like a literal running gag for the entire company where the ice cream machine is always down or whatever. But yeah. Chapter 10, An Infernal with a Will. But then it shows the Infernal, sorry, I went off there and I kind of disrupted it. But Setsuo was in front going,
Yo, judge! Who do you think you are, deciding my fate?
I found you not guilty. I helped you.
Quiet! I'll do the judging here!
As he covers the judge in like a ring of fire around his soldiers. Chapter 10, An Infernal with a Will. And then we cut to the balloons. The balloons that Shinra and Arthur were passing out. Why'd you get a balloon?
Come on, why not? If my brother were alive, he'd be right about their age.
An infernal is on the loose! Emergency vehicle coming through! Please, clear a path!
A matchbox?
Oh wait, that's Hinawa's. That's Hinawa's voice.
An infernal is on the loose. Emergency vehicle coming through. Please clear a path.
That's Lieutenant Hanawa's voice. Hey, what's up? Did we get a call? A matchbox?
And then it shows, sorry, I kind of read that out of order. And then it shows Hinawa going,
Shinra, Arthur, there you are, wandering outside the cathedral without leave like a couple of idiots. You're in some serious discipline. You're in for some serious discipline when we get back. I'm going to work you so hard you won't be walking for a week afterward.
What?
Both of you, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What's wrong, Maki-san? I wasn't brave enough to tell him it was my idea. I'll do anything. I'll treat you to ramen or something. Please forgive me.
Hey, he's mad. I think we're in trouble. This is no time to be handing out balloons.
So it would seem.
Sorry, Mamoru-kun. The rest is up to you. Later, Arthur. I'll meet you there.
as Shinra immediately takes to the skies. And Arthur hangs on to him.
Hey, what are you doing?
Take me with you.
Let go of me, Sir Duncelot.
Fly straight, you unruly steed.
Who are you calling a steed?
Hi-yo, Silver, away!
You are seriously, really seriously?
And it shows Shinra and Arthur flying in the air right next to the matchbox that Hinawa is driving. And it just shows Hinawa just kind of looking at him with a side eye, and then he looks forward. And then he looks back because he has a double take.
Shinra, Arthur, what are you doing? This is a public street.
Never mind that. The Infernal.
The defendant in a murder trial went infernal at the courthouse. He's attacking people. Just go straight to the scene. Saving their lives is our first priority.
Roger that.
And then it cuts to people screaming.
Ah! Hurry, run! He's coming this way! It's not safe here. Please evacuate the building.
Please, let me go. I'm a lawyer. I'm on your side. And it's the lawyer saying this while Setsuo has his fingers like in his mouth, dragging him. That's the reason why I say like, please let me go. I'm a lawyer. I'm on your side. Please let me go. I'm your lawyer. I'm on your side. I'll translate just in case that didn't get through to some of you.
That's right. This is how I rescued people as a firefighter. I just saved your life. You could say it belongs to me now.
I'm sorry, but you dragging people with your fingers in their mouth, dragging them by the face, is how you rescued people? It's no wonder you got discharged.
I just saved your life. You could say it belongs to me now.
What?
And that means I can do whatever I want with you!
And before Setsuo can do anything to the lawyer, Shinra comes in and manages to drop kick Setsuo on the side with a, "Cut it out! Don't stop without warning me."
Sorry.
As Arthur gets launched off of Shinra because of the sudden stop. And both the Infernal and Arthur land right next to each other. And Arthur, as soon as he gets up right next to the Infernal, he does not hesitate to, well, the Infernal Setsuo says, "Who the?" And then before he says anything more, Arthur just straight up backhands him. Backhands him and knocks him even further behind.
Who the?
And he gets up again, but it shows Shinra and Arthur launching towards Setsuo. And they both hit him directly in the face, causing him to tumble backwards.
Where'd you punks come from?
Mamoru-kun was hip hooray to the top of a tree because of you.
Yeah. Huh? That's his crime? Not the murders? Oh, I get it. You're from the Special Fire Force. That bunch of phonies that saves the day by murdering people. I wish I could do that. It's not fair.
And then it shows a woman right next to Setsuo, going,
Help me!
They're not here to help you. They're here to kill me!
as he causes the ring of fire that's around his wrist. Because in this infernal state, he has these big rings of fire that are around him, like the handcuffs he had on before he went infernal. And one of the rings on his right arm starts to get bigger and bigger, and he launches it at the woman, going,
So put a lid on that whining, Bobcat!
and as the ring gets closer, it gets pushed away by Maki.
We're here to save everyone.
That voice definitely a Nike voiceover. Are you saying it's definitely a nice voiceover? I like doing creature voices. I like doing voices of altered people. I really do. But Maki shows up and pushes away the donut of fire,
We're here to save everyone.
and she dissipates it. And she turns that same fire into her own little familiar called
Sputter Comet!
and it launches towards Setsuo, who just punches it right in the face.
Sputter Comet-san! But I made sure to say some fire.
And before that happens, Hinawa walks up right next to Maki and completely crushes the other little flame familiar she has. Because, Hinawa does... That voice definitely an anime voiceover? Oh, that's what you meant. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. But Hinawa walks over and crushes the little flame familiar because, we all know how much Hinawa does not play about people playing with fire. And then we get Obi. What's with this guy? He hasn't lost his mind? If they have a strong enough will and attachment to life, they do maintain some of their attributes from when they were alive. But I've never seen a consciousness this well intact.
Nowhere to run. Okay, I surrender. What? If you're not a bunch of murderers, then you'll let me go, right?
You can't be serious. Do you have any idea how many people you've killed?
Judge says I'm innocent. You can't kill me now, can you?
And right when that happens, a gunshot goes off and clips Setsuo in his, infernal faceplate. And it's Hinawa, because Hinawa don't play. Hinawa don't play.
You can't kill me.
You want to bet? Oh, I like Hinawa. He is no nonsense. And he's just walking, and he's walking over to Setsuo, constantly shooting him over and over.
Unfortunately, I'm not such good a person that I can just forgive scum like you.
I always knew you were a bunch of murderers.
As he engulfs the whole area in fire around Hinawa and starts jumping away.
And I don't like it. Stop acting like you're so righteous.
Darn it.
You guys go around killing infernals. Well, I'm gonna go around killing humans.
And then it cuts to Shinra, because Setsuo is just launching into the air, away from them, getting away.
Captain Obi.
After him. Shinra, you're the only one who can keep up with him.
But he's still himself.
He's not human anymore. I know how you feel, but... Captain. Shinra.
He stopped, Hinawa walks up and goes, Captain, as he stops Obi from speaking. And then he looks at Shinra.
Shinra, don't listen to what that infernal says. Dispose of him.
And Shinawa is being ever so serious about this.
Got it? Then go.
Yes, sir.
As Shinra shoots up into the air.
Dispose of him. Kill him. A guy who's still himself.
My thing, Shinra, is that this man was convicted for murder, and you're still contemplating whether or not you want to take him out. He's an infernal now.
Stop it. Stop it.
But we all know that Shinra has that mindset of like,
I don't want to. Kill him? A guy who's still himself? If I don't do it, more innocent people will die. So I'll kill him.
Hinawa, I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. We need you to be our light. Always.
And that is the end of chapter 10. Onwards to chapter 11. And it begins with some sort of superhero in a big old cape, and he has like a helmet on with flame spouts near the top of it. And Shinra, as a kid, is watching it, while his mom and baby Sho are looking at him.
If you don't get away from that TV, you'll hurt your eyes. Okay.
And then Shinra, just, being a little kid, makes his way towards the couch and sits on it.
Shinrider kick!
Chapter 11, The Hero and the Princess. And then we cut to a cityscape as Setsuo has launched himself well into the middle of a city center. And he's just looking around. And then everyone notices what he is and starts screaming,
It's an inferno!
Ah! This town is just like a toy box. What should I play with first? What's this?
as he looks at a high school kid who has like a bandage on his forehead.
Huh? An infernal?
Come to think of it, I haven't played with any children yet. I bet their youth makes it that much more delicious when they break. But I don't think he would last very long. Oh well, he can be an hors d'oeuvre.
Yes, I know how to say the word hors d'oeuvre.
Just the overture, after all. Wait, I'm going with the toy box analogy. Before I play comes the... I'm going with the toy box analogy. Before I play comes the foreplay. No, that's not right. Ah, well, you're gonna die anyway, so what does it matter?
And then it cuts to this kid screaming, preparing to scream, but before Setsuo can even get close to this kid, Shinra lands directly in front of Setsuo. Just straight back. It's like Superman landing on the kryptonite landmass in Superman Returns. He just lands straight. He doesn't land with like superhero landing, hunched back and crouched knees. He just lands straight, just standing there.
Huh?
And Shinra's just standing there. And he proceeds to kick Setsuo directly in the chest with enough force for like some flame to spat out from his back. Mind you, Shinra didn't kick him hard enough for there to be a hole in his core yet. But he kicks him extremely hard into a nearby car. And then Shinra speaks to the kid going,
You okay? You need to get out of here. It's not safe.
Oh wait, is this a girl? I think this is a girl. Is it? Is it? Hold on. I'm trying to double check here. No, I think this is a dude. Yeah, it's a dude. But the dude goes, okay.
What's the big idea interrupting my fun? Don't you know how many people I saved back in my firefighter days? So what's wrong with killing a few of them in my infernal days?
You killed people in your fighter days too.
Don't you know how to do math, you idiot? That didn't even come close to the number I rescued, stupid.
Like, that's supposed to be okay? The amount of people you save is not the same as the amount of people you murdered, so if I kill a couple more people, it doesn't compare to the amount of people I save? What sort of dumb logic is that? The amount of people you save goes out of the window when you start killing people. But Setsuo puts his hand, Infernal Setsuo puts his hand on a car and then using his firepower launches it at some other people.
Now we can subtract 2. 3?
And then Shinra's right there.
You're despicable to the core.
How are you gonna catch that car? You gonna do something with those kicks you're so proud of? Huh? Are you? Go ahead and try. Aye!
As he says this, he surprised to see Shinra using his kicks to not only send the car flying, but also, kick it. He stops the car, but sends it flying as well.
What?
And he's surprised as the car goes flying high into the air. And then...
What? You're kidding. That car weighed at least a ton.
And we all know that if Superman lands straight down with his arms across his chest, he means business. Look, when Superman lands and he's already looking at you, he's not like in a superhero pose and then he slowly looks up at you. If Superman lands and he's staring at you and he's not moving, and he doesn't have his arms crossed and he's just looking at you, serious like, no, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. But that's how Shinra landed a little bit, but without the crossed arms.
You're kidding. That car weighed at least a ton.
Then it shows Shinra above the air, in the air, above the air, like you can get above the air. Yeah, that makes sense. Shinra is in the air above the car he just launched, and then he puts his foot on the car, and then blasts it straight towards Setsuo, who just barely manages to get out of the way before being crushed by it.
Who is this kid?
And then Shinra lands on the car that's still, crushed into the ground, but he's on the bumper of it.
What are you?
And then Shinra is just on top of this car with that same smile that we all know that he tends to have.
You're the devil!
And then Shinra goes,
No, I'm a hero.
I mean, space is technically above the air. Technically, but my wording was wrong.
No, I'm a hero.
As he's standing there on top of the car, no longer looking as devious as he did before. Then it shows some people watching this fight go down. And it's this one dude that has like a telescope or some sort of eyeglass looking object and some sort of sensory dish.
I've now observed a second Adola burst reaction from our subject. I see. At the moment of impact, he ignites a powerful explosion with his foot. We picked a winner with that one. But first, the self-aware Infernal. It would be a shame to put him out. Let's collect him.
And we see the same individual, the same dark-skinned chick that was at the training rookie games. She's there as well, watching all this go down. And she is blessed.
The flame is the soul's breath. The black smoke is the soul's release.
No, stop! Wait a minute!
Our sister's not here to pray for you, but this is as good as you deserve. Ashes as ashes.
Okay, so maybe I'm infernal, but I still think like a human being, and my body burns like heck, but I'm putting up with it. You get it, right? I'm still scared to die! The least you could do is let a holy woman offer a prayer for my soul before you off me, right?
And then Shinra stops.
Fine. I think Sister Iris and the others are on their way. You just sit there and repent until they get here.
Yeah, I'll do that. But boy, mister, you're strong. So you're one of them third-generation fire soldiers, eh?
And while Shinra stupidly has his back turned towards Setsuo,
When I'm born again, I hope I can be like you.
as he gets closer to Shinra before Shinra spins around and tears his arm off. Shinra just spins around and kicks his arm off.
Yeah, my arm!
There is no hope for your soul, is there?
Darn it all, you're just a kid. Why should I have to? Hero might behind. What's the point in helping people anyway?
And then it shows Shinra preparing to go after him.
Shut up! I've heard enough out of you. I'm putting you to rest!
Then there's a sizzle sound, and some petals are flying through the air as the same dark-skinned chick lands right in between Shinra and Infernal Setsuo.
Huh? Blue stripes? A fire soldier?
I am captain of Special Fire Force Company 5, Princess Hibana. Company 5 will take care of this infernal.
And we get her full-bodied view. She's in like a white dress, the usual Fire Force jacket, but it has like a fur trimming. She's got like a big old fan in her hands with flames on the top of it, and her eyes have like cross-shaped pupils rather than your average pupils. And in the anime, I believe her hair is pink. But she's standing there in between Shinra and Setsuo. And that's the end of Chapter 11. Onwards to Chapter 12, Company 5 and Company 8.
Captain? Of Company 5?
Yo, Ozzy, good to see you. We just started Chapter 12.
Captain?
And we just got introduced to Princess Hibana.
Captain? Of Company 5?
And it shows some members of Company 5 surrounding Setsuo, and they put them all in a straitjacket.
What's going on here? Let me go!
Take him away.
Right.
Company 5 is the one run by Haijima Industries. Stop! He belongs to Company 8! We're gonna put him to rest! You can't just come in here and take over like that!
I am a captain. Do you intend to defy me?
You're not my captain!
And then Hibana just looks at Shinra, and Shinra just immediately loses control of his legs and falls straight forward.
Huh?
And then these women just fall all around, just land right next to Shinra, and they're all blessed too.
Fifth Angels 3 on the scene. Restrain him.
Darn it! What did you do to me?
A Company 8 flunky, you're doing. A Company 8 flunky. You're nothing but a piece of gravel, so be a good little gravel and grovel on the road where I can walk on you. Crunch, crunch, crunch. I've had enough of your gravelly sniveling. The only time I want to hear your crunching is when you're crunching under my feet, gravel.
And then she puts her foot. It's like white on top with pink around the tips. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I've seen the anime or her design. But she's standing right over Shinra, and then she stomps her feet in front of her face, and she goes,
Lick it.
As a second-class fire soldier, it was rude of me to speak to you like that, Captain. I apologize. But don't you think your company's tactics are a little heavy-handed?
And then she says,
I said lick it.
Hey! I'm trying to be serious here!
and then I didn't even think. Wow, I don't remember that from the anime. I don't remember that view from the anime. I don't remember that view from the anime. Shinra's looking directly up at Hibana, but he also gets a pretty good view, and so do I, of what's under her. I don't remember that in the anime. I don't remember that at all. Okay. Okay. But he gets a full view of what's under her dress, and he starts having this little sneer on his face, this little nervous sneer on his face, you know. And then Hibana kind of winces a little bit, and she immediately steps away. Immediately steps away from Shinra. The fire soldiers are fighting each other.
Did they extinguish the infernal?
And then Shinra's just silent. Pretty sure they censored it in the anime. That's the reason why this is coming. That's the reason why this is a bit of a shock to me, because I do not remember this view at all. I'm gonna move on. Then we cut to the kid who goes,
Don't be mean to him. He saved me.
"Get out of my way," goes one other Company 5 soldier who just pushes the kid aside.
Hey! Fire soldiers are supposed to protect the people. What is wrong with you, Company 5 people?
And then one of the Angels 3 is right above Shinra going,
It's just one little brat falling on his butt. It's not like we burned him.
like you said, the fan service can be a bit much. I'll decide if it's too much. I shall decide. So I must view it all.
It's not like we burned him.
And then all of a sudden, the Angels 3 get whipped up in fire. Shinra launches off of them going,
Are you freaking kidding me? You never talk about burning a kid, even as a joke!
and then Hibana looks at Shinra going,
Oh.
I'll teach you what it really means to be a fire soldier. Bring it on, Company 5! I'm Shinra Kusakabe, second-class soldier from Company 8, and I'm calling you out!
Interesting,
goes Captain Hibana, while all of her members look at Shinra. What is it with Captain Hibana and having incredibly blessed members among her company? But then a matchbox shows up, and it opens. And it's the Company 8 matchbox. Shinra! Oh, a connoisseur, I see. Okay, good sir, I trust your judgment. Thank you. Shinra! Company 5, what are you doing here? As Obi questions Hibana.
Captain!
It's not every day we see an infernal as self-aware as this one. It would be a shame to dispose of him. Company 5 is taking him into custody.
Don't you think you're overstepping some boundaries here?
The moment he went infernal, he was legally dead. Extinguishing him would return his body to the ashes. In which case, I don't see a problem with taking that body into custody instead. Do you? Besides, you're a new company. I've heard you don't have a science team yet. It's such an unusual specimen. If we want to get closer to solving the mystery of spontaneous human combustion, don't you think you should let my company take it in for analysis?
And I assume you'll share the results of this analysis with us?
But of course.
Liar. Let's go. We'll let Company 5 take care of this.
But...
What a loser, huh? Company 8 captain. He's just a non-powered grunt. Major loserville. And this is the same guy who's blowing like bubbles and who shoved the other kid aside that Shinra helped earlier.
What did you say, knave? You want a piece of me, punk? Do you?
Shinra! Arthur!
As Maki chimes in. Oh, the little second-class gruntlings are butting in on behalf of their Captain Grunt. And then Iris isn't doing anything but is all like,
Please don't.
Do you have any idea how brave you have to be to dive into a sea of flames when you don't have any heat resistance?
Of course I don't. I'm a third generation.
Shinra, calm down!
I'm gonna kick your butt one day, just you wait!
Go ahead and try, Grunty. Little gruntling under Captain Grunt of Grunts 8. Go on, get in the matchbox. As Hinawa is holding them back. Company 8, please. Bunch of losers. And then it cuts to Maki, who walks up to this guy and goes,
Excuse me, sir?
huh? And then Maki just has her hands like just looking at his stomach and then proceeds to hit him with so much force that he is crumpled on the floor. She literally 1-inch punched this guy. Do not mess with Maki. You know what? This is yet another Maki. I forgot that there was a Maki in this series and a Maki in Jujutsu. Don't mess with either. But she 1-inch punches this guy and crumples him on the floor. While his other dudes are looking at him going like, while another dude is looking at him going, what's wrong? And as she walks away humming to herself, both Shinra and Arthur are looking kind of confused. And then it cuts to Hinawa, who goes, Maki,
You gave it a twist, right?
And then they both give each other the thumbs up because Hinawa's like,
You did good.
then we're back in the matchbox. Well, back towards the matchbox as Obi's just looking at everybody.
I don't even know what to say to you guys. Thanks.
And then it cuts to Hibana.
Listen, Obi, if the little firefighter keeps sticking his nose where it doesn't belong, then he will be extinguished instead of the fire.
I see. So you're saying I'm smoking some people's nostrils. But you can't put Company 8's flame out that easily.
As we get a beautiful spread panel of Company 8 just giving everyone the eyes. All like, I wish y'all would. They have the look of, I wish you would. Come on!
Say when.
Like, they have that look in their eye. I love it. And then Hibana just smiles. And that's the end of Chapter 12. Onwards to Chapter 13. Stand by, as we still have Hibana there, who's looking at Iris. And she doesn't have a smile on her face, and she just turns around after looking at Iris. Special Fire Force Company 8, returning to Cathedral. And then it shows everybody leaving. And it shows Shinra standing there with Iris. Company 5 is... let me see. Who's saying this?
Company 5 is definitely blowing smoke. I don't like it.
Special Fire Cathedral 8. After that brouhaha yesterday, I don't think I need to tell you that we can't trust Company 5. We're going to investigate, and it could mean war.
Captain Obi, I think you've moved beyond bodybuilding.
As it shows Captain Obi, who's balancing on a workout ball while holding multiple weights all over his body. Like all over. He's got weights in the bend of his arms. He has weights that are holding up other weights that are holding up stacked cups. Then he's balancing 2 other weights on his head with a deadlift set of weights with a potted plant on top. And he's doing all that while having some weights attached to his waist as well. This goes beyond just simple bodybuilding. This man is trying to reach Saitama levels.
Captain Obi, I think you've moved beyond bodybuilding and into something else resembling bodybuilding.
First and foremost, our job is to put the Infernals to rest and ensure public safety. However, we must always keep in mind Company 8's secret mission to investigate the shadier Fire Force companies and come up with ways to fight them.
I'm so freaked out by that hat, I can't hear a word he says.
And then because all the hats that Hinawa tends to wear are kind of abstract a little bit. And then Arthur's just looking outside.
Confound you, Griffin, assaulting my castle yet again. One day you will be rust on Excalibur's blade.
You really are stupid, aren't you?
There you go again. But please don't actually vanquish the adorable Griffin. They'll take you in for breaking wildlife protection laws.
Huh.
Look who's talking. You're pretty dangerous yourself, Maki-san.
Don't worry. Don't worry, Maki-san. 90% of any given day, you're cool, beautiful, and amazing. It's too bad about that other 10%, though. Too bad?
This company's full of weirdos. You're my only refuge, Sister Iris.
Oh, stop. Shinra-san, there's dust in your hair.
And it shows Shinra as Iris is just cleaning out the dust in his hair. And, him being nervous, he's doing that nervous smile again.
Thank you. Should we be so laid back? We might be going to war against Company 5.
Your face. Watch your face.
You're the oddest one of us all. Hey, people, this is an important meeting. Cut the chit-chat.
As Hinawa is holding a gun up at everybody.
Is that a real gun? Lieutenant, you really shouldn't point those at people even if you're joking.
Do I look like I'm joking?
What?
As Hinawa shoots Shinra directly in the leg.
Shinra-san!
You shot him, goes Arthur.
Shinra-san, are you alright?
My leg. My leg! Huh? It hurt pretty bad, but I'm fine. Why? Is that an air gun?
No, it's real.
Lieutenant Hinawa is a second generation like me. He can't ignite his own fires, but he can control flames. When he shot you, he dulled the gunpowder's explosion and lowered the bullet's lethality.
He literally kept the gun from exploding too quickly in order for the bullet to actually penetrate his skin. Now, my thing is, for those of us, pretty much 100% of the population, we are not faster than bullets. And I say 100% of the population. There isn't a single person alive who can, block a bullet or dodge a bullet. Not a single one. But this man it kept the fire that happens when a bullet explodes inside of a gun for the bullet to shoot forward, for the casing to explode, for it to shoot forward. He extinguished it and lessened it so that the bullet came out, but it wasn't even lethal. It just left like a paintball mark, and that's it. Bullets are pretty much instantaneous when they leave the barrel of a gun, especially at point blank range. So for him to have that much control where he can make it so that it can stop a bullet from being lethal when he shoots it, that's a high level of control.
When he shot you, he dulled the gunpowder's explosion and lowered the bullet's lethality.
Unlike Infernals, when you're up against second and third gens, you never know what they're going to pull. And we're going to be seeing a lot of them.
As he continues to shoot Shinra with his gun, but he keeps extinguishing the fire so that it's not lethal, it's just more of an annoyance thing to Shinra.
I know it's not lethal, but you're scaring the crap out of me, sir!
You're especially stupid, Arthur. Get your act together.
As Arthur is just daydreaming, as he's looking at a lizard on the wall, and he's going,
I am a man who slays dragons.
You'll have to find a dragon first.
Come with me to the roof. I'm going to drill you into the floor.
Good luck, man! As they both go to the rooftop. And then it shows both Shinra and Arthur doing like 100 push-ups.
99?
100. 100. Next, you'll be sparring. Maki, fight Arthur.
And it shows Arthur fighting Maki. And, sorry, I had to swallow.
Don't just focus on my upper body. Pay attention to your opponent's whole body. See? You're wide open.
And then it shows Shinra standing there with Hinawa.
I don't care if they were joking. I'm not gonna stand by and let Company 5 talk about burning civilians. Who is this Captain Princess anyway?
Third generation fire soldier Princess Ibana. She appeared out of nowhere as a recruit from Haijima and climbed her way up through the ranks. There are a lot of questions surrounding that woman. But according to what we found, she got her current position by researching the Infernals illegally and selling off pieces of the data.
So, you're saying she might have found out what's causing the spontaneous human combustion?
At the very least, she knows something big enough to turn a nobody into a captain. At the very least, she knows something big enough to turn a nobody into a captain overnight. And we're going to do everything we can to get our hands on it. We'll storm their base if we have to. Your feet in Arthur's plasma should come in handy.
I don't even care about the data. I just want to crush Company 5.
Special Fire Combine 5. And we have Setsuo.
No! No more! Please stop! Please!
Gravel. Gravel. Gravel!
Yeah!
As Setsuo is being heavily experimented on.
Silence. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to your body. Now tell me something I don't know about the Infernals. You're gravel. Everyone is gravel. And you will pave the way to my happiness. Gravel dust!
Yeah! I can't hold it in!
As the company is just, as Angels 3 are watching Hibana as she's experimenting and, I want to say torturing Setsuo?
Like I care, you piece of dung. Keep screaming, grunt, and lie on the ground beneath the beautiful, powerful princess.
And mind you, the way these words are written out on in these panels is like every other word is written out in some sort of different font. Like Hibana is not all there. That to the point where even her own grammar is all over the place in terms of structure, terms of visual structure. And the Angels 3 are just looking at her. And then she's just laughing maniacally as Setsuo is still screaming. Then we have Iris, who's pouring some water over herself back at Company 8, and she's like in this I want to say this gown, and I mean, it's basically what you would expect visually if you were to douse somebody in water and they had like a white t-shirt on. It's pretty much like that, but it's not too revealing. It's just, clothes stick to you kind of close when it's wet. And we have a young Iris and what appears to be a young Hibana, and apparently they both were nuns. And Iris is happy to be next to Hibana, but Hibana looks kind of bothered. Then we cut back to the present, as Maki is there with Hinawa.
Your turn, Shinra.
Shinra went to the courtyard. Apparently, he left something there.
What? But Sister Iris is doing an abolition.
What is it? Ablution? Ablution? You know why she's one of your favorite Fire Force characters? She reminds you of Hancock? To a degree.
What? But Iris is doing an ablution in the courtyard.
And then it cuts to Shinra. It cuts to Shinra, who walks in on Iris doing this. Iris doing this ablution. I don't know if it's abolition but I think it's ablution. Because abolition is essentially what happened to the 7 warlords after the reverie. So he walks in on her and goes, And then it cuts to Iris, who has tears in her eyes, and she goes,
Ne-san.
And then Shinra has that, I see a pretty girl in front of me, all wet in front of me. And he has that, I wouldn't say nervous smile. It's just like, it's a tense smile of like, pretty girl in front of me. But that's the end of chapter 13. Onwards to chapter 14, the Holy Woman's Resolve. And Shinra's right there, and Iris looks back, but Shinra's hiding behind the corner.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
And then he's thinking back to when Iris was crying.
Was she crying? I'm really sorry.
And then Iris, who's covered up now, says,
Oh, no, it was my fault. I should have been more careful. Stay safe in your training.
Thank you, sister. What is she, an angel? She's so nice.
Well, excuse me then.
Oh, Sister Iris. Is something bothering you? 'Cause, it's my job as a fire soldier to help people.
And she just smiles, and she goes,
Thank you for your concern.
And she smiles at him, but as she walks away, that smile's no longer on her face. We've always seen these faces before in manga and in anime when people are smiling with their eyes closed, but it's not like a really big smile, it's kind of like a slight smile. We've seen those smiles before. Once you experience a couple episodes with Sai and Naruto, you can't look at people smiling the same ever again. It took me looking at Sai and seeing what fake smiles look like in Naruto for me to realize, okay, I can recognize that now, regardless of character and regardless of series. It's crazy. And while she's walking away, it's nighttime in Company 8, and Shinra's just lying up in bed.
As a guy who's always smiling weird, I can tell. That smile was not natural. Did something happen between her and Company 5? Hey, Arthur, do you know if something happened to Sister Iris?
What? Her Highness has appointed me commander of her knights?
You look really stupid when you're getting ready to go to sleep.
What? Did something happen to Her Royal Highness?
Quit calling Sister Iris Her Highness. Shouldn't you be calling Maki-san that too?
Shinra! Arthur!
No, she's an ogress, so...
Who are you calling a gorilla Cyclops?
Me too!
As Maki comes in there and just body slams both Shinra and Arthur at the same time. Arthur, Shinra, you were unfortunately guilty by association. No, guilty by proximity.
What was that for? Didn't you torture us enough at training today?
That's not why I'm here. Does either of you know where Sister Iris went?
What?
Kinda has Hancock's quirk too. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Because This is the same way that I treated One Piece, even though if you know of stuff that's in the later episodes and the anime as well, we'll talk on that when we cross that boundary. But Iris is apparently gone.
Excuse me.
What business would a nun have here at this time of night?
I was hoping I could meet with your captain.
Huh? What makes you think?
Please tell her that Iris is here to see her.
Special Fire Force Combine 5, the location of Company 5. And then it cuts to these men who are all, like, next to each other. Princess, there's a nun here to see you. She says her name is Iris. And there's a crunching sound underneath Princess Captain Ibana's feet.
Let her in.
And then Iris walks into the building, and she's looking with a stern look on her face. And Hibana is steadily walking, because apparently these 4 dudes are all kneeled down so that Hibana can walk over them. So they're basically having a step on me, mommy moment. Princess Hibana is stepping all over their backs, and she's making her way, because apparently she doesn't have any steps that leads from her chair, so they're all her steps as she steps on their backs.
Gravel is supposed to...
And because she steps on one guy's back, and he goes like, "Yeah."
Keep it down. Gravel is supposed to groan quietly.
Crunch. Wait, they're all supposed to... I thought it was a sound effect. They're saying the word crunch as if they're living gravel. Okay, I didn't notice that. Crunch.
Let her in.
Crunch.
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 Crunch. Crunch! Keep it down. Gravel is supposed to groan quietly.
Crunch. And she's just standing there in front of Iris.
Can I help you, my dear have-not? I don't know what you're doing, but it's dangerous, isn't it? And it's blasphemy. Your research is in open defiance of the great sun god's will. Is that really what you want, Ne-san?
And then Hibana walks up to Iris.
Ne-san?
And then Hibana grabs Iris's clothes and goes,
Don't wear a habit in front of me!
And she rips off her habit, leaving Iris standing there with only her undergarments just standing there, and her clothes in tatters. It's unfortunate. I'm not even going to be moved by this because of the implications of this scene, because I already feel it, and it's not something to ogle. But all the men are all like, "Ooh," as Iris is trying to cover herself up. And then Hibana sets fire to the area around these dudes who are staring at her.
Don't ogle her. That is the pure, undefiled body of a holy woman.
And then Iris says,
Ne-san, why?
As Hibana gets in front of Iris and grabs her by the throat, going,
In the Fire Force, a nun is nothing but a decoration. And there you go, devoting your life to such a worthless station. You will always be a fool. What is God, anyway? You're all worshipping a hollow puppet that doesn't even exist. There is no God in this country or in this world. There are only devils like me.
As she's staring at Iris, giving her this very creepy-eyed look. And then Iris is like, she has tears in her eyes just a little bit. And she's thinking,
Devils. Shinra-san.
Use the nun as bait to lure Company 8 out into the open. Then crush them!
Yes, Captain. And it shows Hibana dropping her jacket behind her. Then there's a sound outside.
What was that sound? It came from outside.
As something landed in front of Company 5's place. What was that? A mortar? Something fell from the sky. It's a guy. Who are you?
Who am I? Let me tell you. I'm from Company 8. I'm Find the Nun and Crush Company 5, man!
As Shinra has shown up to throw hands. And that is the end of Chapter 14. Only one more chapter, and then we're done with this volume, ladies and gentlemen. 2 hours, but that's because I had to eat. Chapter 15, The Battle Begins. and it shows one of the gates. It shows, well, not one of the gates, but one of the walls. And then a sword pokes through and starts to slice up the wall. And then it slices up the other part of the wall and causes it to fall down as the Company 8 matchbox comes ramming through with Maki and Hinawa.
Lieutenant, shouldn't we be more careful?
The lowlifes of Company 5 have been conducting questionable research here for ages. It's not like we can just report them.
And he just takes off inside the barracks. And then Shinra starts to get surrounded by a bunch of Company 5. Well, actually, Shinra is face-to-face with a bunch of Company 5 soldiers, while Arthur, Hinawa, and Maki make their way behind him, with Hinawa going,
Shinra, use those feet of yours to find Sister Iris. Maki and I will take care of things here.
Just the two of you? Against all of them?
It'll be easier for us out here as soon as you start tearing things up inside. Go!
Yes, sir!
As Shinra takes off, and he flies, and one of the guys goes, here he comes! And Shinra takes off above them. And he just starts dashing. Yeah, you're not going anywhere! And then Shinra dodges out of the way of this guy using his own firepower. Fast little. And then he starts using his power to basically like fire skate across the ground at high speeds. Ah, after him! Don't let him escape! And then there's like a sound as Hinawa gets his pistol and Uzi. This man is dual wielding an Uzi and a pistol. I don't think I don't see that combination all that often in video games where you can where you can have a pistol in one hand and an Uzi or an SMG in the other. The only people I can think of that can do that in video games is like, I think Blazkowicz and Wolfenstein, Salvador, and I'm trying to think of another example, but it's not coming to mind. But you don't see that many examples of dual wielding with two separate different types of guns. But he loads his guns and goes,
Don't think you can run from my discipline.
velocity control, and he starts gunning down dudes, but non-lethally, of course.
Hide! He's opened fire!
It's no use hiding,
Are you enjoying this?
Goes Maki,
guns are meant to be pointed at people.
as he, with this blank expression on his face, he just opens fire, and this man just channels his inner wanted, and he starts using his velocity control, like his power, to make the bullets curve.
Huh?
Trajectory control.
And it shows the bang as these dudes who are hiding around corners getting hit by the bullets of Hinawa. And it shows Hinawa walking over the beaten down body of one and shooting them in the back. He has no chill, and I like him.
Not that this is anything new, but sometimes I think you show more mercy to the Infernals than to regular people, Lieutenant.
That's because I didn't join the Special Fire Force. I joined Captain Obi. I came to Company 8 because there are idiots in the government who won't listen to reason, and I wanted to knock some heads. You start knocking heads too, Maki. We'll knock their heads until the location of the SHC data falls out.
I left the military against my father's wishes because I would rather save people than fight them. That's why I joined the Fire Force. So I'm not too keen on man-to-man combat.
But you hit that Company 5 rookie, didn't you?
I didn't hit him, it was just a tap.
And then it cuts to the same dude who got a 1-inch punch by Maki going, that's Company 8, and the chick from last time. Grunts 8 is getting too big for its britches. Time to give him a taste of my backdraft bubblish gum. Arthur, go after Shinra. You be careful, Lieutenant. And then a bubble floats towards Hinawa as he goes, huh? What the?
Lieutenant, get down!
As the bubble explodes and Maki jumps in with enough time to save Hinawa from getting caught up in this very big explosion. I gotta put some lip stuff on my lips because I feel it. It feels weird. Feels weird. Yeah. Definitely gotta put some stuff on my lips. It was so annoying just being there on the edge of my lip. Good lord.
That
Was some impressive firepower.
I blow some flammable gas into my oxygen-free gum. And then he turns it into a bubble and sends it floating over towards Maki and Hinawa.
Here comes another one.
Take cover, sir. I'll handle this.
Send the bubble over to the enemy and pop it when the gas inside gets fresh oxygen. Kaboom! And it explodes with it almost launching back Maki. That is the power of Toru Kishiri. The power of backdraft bubble-ish gum. You okay?
Yeah.
As Maki is, holding her own, trying to keep the fire from hitting them. Again, as it just shows more and more explosions.
Maki, where are the attacks coming from?
Inside that storeroom, possibly from the back.
He may be annoying, but I'll give this guy credit. His power's pretty good. I mean, being able to blow a bubblegum bubble, that is incredibly explosive. Where even Maki's having a bit of a time trying to keep the firepower back? Yeah.
Maki, where are the attacks coming from?
Inside that storeroom, possibly from the back.
And then Hinawa puts his gun against the crate that they're hiding behind.
That's all I need to know.
Don't bother. I don't care how good you fire those bullets straight, and not even you can bend them far enough to reach me. He was not there when he clearly bent the bullets to hit people around corners. And he just shoots. And then Hinawa just starts shooting again.
Velocity control.
And they start to fizzle, and then trajectory control. They bend, and then they hit the ground into the opening of the storeroom where Toru is actually hiding. What is his name? Hold on, what is his name? Yeah, where Toru is hiding. Huh? Pfft, loser. Was that supposed to hit me? But then the bullets that were supposed to just stop on the ground suddenly bounce into the air.
With the sparks from the impact, I alter the bullets again.
And they all start bouncing around the room and off the roof as Toru can only look up going, what? As all those bullets that Hinawa fired all ricochet around the room with his trajectory and velocity control and hit all over Toru's body, rendering him unable to fight anymore. And then it just shows a panel. Where Hinawa and Maki are just standing in this whole courtyard, and they've defeated every single person from Company 5 that tried to run up on them. They ran them pockets real quick.
Pathetic.
Hold on. Okay, we're almost done. But Hinawa speaks.
Pathetic. It would take a lot more than this to get Company 8 rookies to admit defeat. Maki, I'm gonna get one of those soldiers to cough up the location of the data.
Yes, sir. Here comes Lieutenant. Yes, sir. Here comes Lieutenant Hell. Hold it.
As Hinawa stops, as the Angels, the 5th Angels 3 show up.
On the scene. 5th Angels 3. On the scene. 1 has arrived. 2 crashing the party. 3.
As they're all there face to face against Hinawa. And then it has Arthur walking by himself.
I'm supposed to go after Shinra, but the one thing that devil is good at is running away. I don't see hide nor hair of him.
And then it just shows the trail that, it just shows like a black trail that's going through the company.
The devil's footprints indeed.
Hoo. Are you following the devil's footprints too? You're from Company 8, correct?
As someone comes up out of the shadow, and it's the same dude that was using the telescope in this little weird satellite dish to listen in and watch the fight between Shinra and Setsuo earlier on. And he just gets up out of the shadows itself.
Ho. So you're looking for the devil too?
Who are you, old man? A conehead? Go back to your fields, peasant. It's not safe here.
I can't have you sniffing around Company 5. Kill.
As it shows Setsuo, Infernal Setsuo, walking up with a cloak over him and a 5 plastered over his infernal faceplate. Or at least where his face would be.
I'm gonna kill. We've increased this infernal firepower by administrating the drug we've been researching. Finding such an excellent test subject has put me in wonderful mood.
Well, wonderful mood or a wonderful mood?
We'll meet again, Manslayer. By my sword, you will. By my sword will.
And that's to be continued in Volume 3. And of course, we have an afterword. But you know what? I'm not going to read I know I read it in the first volume back, but I'm not going to read the afterwards. After that, I'll probably read the translation notes, but not the afterwards. But that's the end of chapter 15 and almost the end of volume 2. Translation notes. God Save Me, page 48. The resigned look on Arthur's face tells the reader that he doesn't expect a miraculous rescue. He hopes that God will save his soul and take him to heaven after he dies. It may also have the connotation of God save me from myself. If I survive this, I am going to kill someone. Incidentally, in the original Japanese text, he says Namo-san, which is a short Buddhist prayer asking for salvation of the soul, but is also used as more as an expression of surprise, anger, etc., in the vein of good heavens or dash it all. Then Captain and Lieutenant, page 66. To be precise, Hinawa is a Chutaicho, or commander of a medium-sized unit. Captain Obi's lament is that Company 8 isn't big enough to be divided into medium-sized sub-companies, which makes Hinawa's title superfluous. Incidentally, Obi's title is Dai Taicho, which makes him the commander of a large unit. Bobcat, page 93. If Miyamoto knows this woman's name, it's unlikely that he cares what it is. Instead, he uses her haircut to identify her. The Japanese word for this hairstyle is kappa, which is also a creature from folklore that lives in rivers and performs mischief of varying levels of evil. So he calls her Metsugappa, or female kappa. The translators attempted to capture the animal name of the nature of the nickname by rendering his epithet as Bobcat. Shin Rider Kick, page 102. A popular hero from Sunday morning children's programming is Kamen Rider, or Kamen Rider, or Masked Rider. Like the Power Rangers, he exists in many incarnations and has been around for decades. He wears an insect-styled masked costume, rides a motorcycle, and fights monsters. Shinra would be especially fond of him because it's easy to connect his own name to the name Rider, hence Shin Rider Kick. Then Smoke in People's Nostrils, page 133. The translators confess that they made this idiom up. In Japanese, the word used was kemutakaru, which literally means to behave as if there is smoke, and refers either to someone who is sensitive to smoke or to someone who finds someone or something to be an annoyance. In other words, there are people who are not entirely fond of Obi's presence. They are as fond of him, perhaps, as they would be of having the stench of smoke in their nostrils. Nesan, page 154. Here, Iris reveals that she is no stranger to Princess Ibana by referring to her as Nesan, which means older sister, and is a perfectly acceptable nickname. This particular Nesan is written with a character that indicates that they are not sisters by blood, but that they have become sisters through some social contract. Weekly manga versus monthly manga, and this is in the afterword that Atsushia put in. Monthly manga, page 93. 196. Before manga comes out in the lovely graphic novel form you have in your hands, unless you're reading it digitally, each chapter is published individually in a manga magazine. As the reader can deduce, some of these magazines are on a weekly schedule, while others hit stores monthly. Because of the fast pace, weekly manga tends to come in shorter chapters, but nevertheless, it doesn't take long for there to be enough material to fill a whole volume. Volumes of Fire Force came out in Japan approximately every 2 months. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the last bit of, translation notes for Volume 2. And then we have character profiles from Shinra and Arthur. And then they have like a... Wow. They have like previews for Vinland Saga and Inuyashiki. And then they have My Little Monster and Say I Love You as previews for different manga they would have in the future. But That's the end of Volume 2 of Fire Force, ladies and gentlemen. As I said before to all of you here, I'm going to be doing these live readings for these volumes every single day, excluding Sundays, because I want to give myself a bit of a break from that and on top of everything else that I do on a Sunday. We will continue with Fire Force on Monday. I'll have it scheduled and set up for all of you, just in case you want to, kick back and relax when it's time. But I just want to say thank you for joining me in this journey. Don't worry, this journey will not be as long as my One Piece one. That took months. That took me approximately 3 months to get through. This one will not take as long because there's not that many. Even if I skip Sundays, it's still going to be done in more than half the time it took me to get through my entire One Piece read-through. But thank you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I can't wait to see you all Monday as we continue with Fire Force Volume 3. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, subscribe, become a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. God, I love reading this series. Thank you.